Have you ever stayed up late, replaying the same thought again and again in your mind? Maybe you were thinking, what if I said the wrong thing? Or, what if something bad happens tomorrow? That's what we call overthinking. And honestly, everyone does it sometimes. Overthinking feels like your brain is a busy highway, full of cars moving in every direction. You want to stop, but your thoughts just keep going, faster and faster. It's like your mind can't find the break. You know you're tired, but the thoughts don't stop. They just keep coming back, stronger and louder. Overthinking means thinking too much, especially about one problem or one situation. It's when you keep analyzing, worrying, or imagining what-if scenarios, even though you can't control what will happen. For example, you send a message to your friend, but they don't reply. Then your mind starts to spin. Did I say something wrong? Maybe they're angry. What if they don't want to talk to me anymore? But in reality, your friend might just be busy or tired. Still, your brain builds a whole story that isn't even true. That's how overthinking works. It turns small things into big worries. We overthink because we want to feel safe. We try to prepare for everything that could go wrong. We imagine different outcomes, hoping that will help us avoid pain or mistakes. But the truth is, overthinking doesn't protect us. It only makes us feel more anxious and less confident. It's like trying to control the weather. You can't stop the rain, but you can choose to carry an umbrella. Instead of trying to control every thought, we need to learn how to manage them. We can't stop our mind from thinking, but we can decide which thoughts to listen to. Once you learn to do that, you'll start to feel calmer, lighter, and more focused. In the next part, we'll look at how to recognize when you're overthinking and what's actually happening in your brain when you do it. Understanding this is the first step to taking back control of your thoughts. Sometimes, the first step to solving a problem is simply realizing that you have it. Overthinking is not something to be ashamed of. It's just your mind trying too hard to protect you. But before we can stop it, we need to understand how it works and how it quietly sneaks into our daily life. Overthinking often begins in small, harmless ways. Maybe you make a tiny mistake at work, or you say something awkward in a conversation. At first, it seems normal to think about it for a moment. But then, your brain starts replaying it again and again, like a broken record. You imagine different versions of what you could have said or done. You start worrying about how people saw you, what they thought, and what might happen next. Slowly, your thoughts become heavier and your body feels tense. This is the cycle of overthinking. It starts with one thought, then another, and another, until you feel trapped inside your own mind. The more you think, the worse you feel. And the worse you feel, the more you think. It becomes a loop. Recognizing this cycle is important. You need to notice the moment when thinking turns into overthinking. One helpful sign is when your thoughts stop being useful. For example, if you're planning, that's productive. But if you keep replaying the same worry without finding a solution, that's overthinking. Another sign is when your thoughts make you feel stuck instead of calm. tired instead of clear. When you notice this happening, take a pause. Don't fight your thoughts. Just say to yourself, "Okay, my mind is overthinking right now." That simple sentence creates distance between you and your thoughts. It reminds you that you are not your mind. You're the observer, not the noise inside it. Once you recognize it, you can start breaking the cycle. One way is by shifting your focus. Try doing something physical. Take a short walk, stretch your body, or even wash your hands with cold water. This brings your attention back to the present moment. When you're connected to the now, to your senses, to what's real, your brain naturally slows down. Another technique is journaling. Write your thoughts on paper. Don't judge them, just let them flow out. Seeing your thoughts written down helps you realize that they're just words, not facts. The act of writing can clear your mind, like cleaning a messy desk. Most importantly, remind yourself that not every thought deserves attention. Your brain produces thousands of thoughts every day. Some useful, some random, some just fear in disguise. You don't have to believe or analyze all of them. Another way to calm your mind is through action. Overthinking loves sitting still. It grows stronger when you do nothing. When you move, it loses power. Do something simple. Go for a walk. Clean your room. Organize your desk, or cook a meal. You don't need a big plan. Small actions help your brain shift from thinking mode to doing mode. You can also practice gratitude. When your mind starts to worry, pause and name 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's your morning coffee, a message from a friend, or the sound of rain. Gratitude changes your focus from what's missing to what's already good. It doesn't solve everything, but it gives your thoughts a softer direction. Another powerful step is to talk to yourself kindly. Many people overthink because they're afraid of making mistakes. They want to be perfect. But the truth is, no one is perfect, not even close. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I'm so stupid," try saying, "It's okay, I'm learning." The words you use with yourself matter. They can make your mind a friend or an enemy. Here's something important. Set time limits for thinking. If you need to make a decision, give yourself a certain amount of time. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 1 day, and then stop. Don't let your brain think forever. Overthinking often hides behind the idea of, "I just need more time." But clarity doesn't always come from more thinking. It comes from action and experience. Finally, remember to rest. Your mind needs rest just like your body does. Disconnect from screens. Spend time in nature. Or sit quietly without doing anything. When you rest your mind, it becomes sharper, clearer, and stronger the next time you need it. Stopping overthinking doesn't mean you stop caring or stop thinking deeply. It simply means you start choosing which thoughts deserve your energy. In the next and final part, we'll talk about how to trust yourself more, because confidence is the best cure for overthinking. When you trust your choices, your mind doesn't need to question them again and again. Now that you know how to calm your mind and bring yourself back to the present, there's one final key to stop overthinking: learning to trust yourself. You see, most overthinking comes from doubt. We doubt our choices, our words, our abilities. We ask ourselves, did I make the right decision? What if I fail? What will people think? These questions come from fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of being judged, or fear of losing control. But the truth is, confidence isn't about being right all the time. It's about believing that even if things go wrong, you can handle it. Think about it this way. When you trust a friend, you don't expect them to be perfect. You trust that they'll try their best, and if something goes wrong, you'll figure it out together. You need to treat yourself the same way. Trust yourself like you trust a good friend. One way to build self-trust is through small promises. Every time you tell yourself you'll do something and actually do it, your mind learns to believe in you. Start small. I'll drink more water today. I'll go for a short walk. I'll spend 5 minutes reading. When you keep these promises, even the tiny ones, you send your brain a message. I can depend on myself. That's how confidence grows, not from perfection, but from consistency. Another way is to accept that mistakes are part of growth. Everyone makes them. That's how we learn. When you fail, instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" Every mistake holds a small lesson. The sooner you accept that, the less power fear will have over you. It also helps to surround yourself with people who bring peace, not pressure. Spend time with those who make you feel calm, not judged. Overthinking often gets worse when you're around negativity or comparison. Choose environments that make your mind feel safe. And here's a simple but powerful idea. You don't need to know everything before you start. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling before taking action. But those moments rarely come. Confidence comes after you start, not before. The more you take small steps, the more you prove to yourself that you can move forward, even without perfect certainty.